Have you ever looked at a position and felt your blood pressure spike because you knew destruction was coming, but you couldn't figure out exactly where the blow would land? Today, we are looking at a classic position that is essentially a ticking time bomb. Black has a crushing sequence that forces mate in just 3 moves, and it involves a sacrifice so beautiful it's practically art. We are diving deep into the psychology of the attack, the structural weaknesses in White's kingside, and how to execute this finish with the precision of a computer. Forget everything you know about standard defensive principles. This is pure, unadulterated aggression. Boom! Black launches the attack with rook takes g3 check. Now why is this so powerful? Look at the white king on g1. It is currently being protected by a fragile shell of pawns on g3 and h2. By playing rook takes g3, black is not just checking the king. They are fundamentally breaking the structural integrity of the entire kingside defense. If white decides to ignore this, they are simply losing. But the real genius here is that the rook is effectively acting as a decoy. You are inviting the knight on f3 to capture, which looks like a natural defensive move to gain material, but it is actually walking directly into the trap. We are sacrificing the exchange for a long-term initiative that translates into an immediate, unstoppable mating net. This is the definition of a forcing move. It requires white to respond immediately, removing their options and funneling them into a sequence of moves that leads directly to their demise. Remember this: when your opponent's king is this exposed, calculating the forcing lines is the absolute priority. Don't play for positional pressure when you can play for the throat. The sacrifice continues with queen takes g3 check. This is absolutely brutal. Look at the geometry here. The white king is forced to the corner or forced to move forward, but because of the pawn on h2, the king is essentially trapped in a cage. By capturing with the queen, black is keeping the initiative at maximum intensity. If white tries to move, they are only delaying the inevitable. This move highlights the importance of diagonal pressure. The queen is cutting off the entire g-file and preventing the king from finding any air. It's an exercise in geometry. Notice how the rook on h8 is now perfectly positioned to slide into the attack. This is a masterclass in coordinate piece play. You aren't just attacking the king. You are coordinating the entire board to create an impenetrable wall of pressure. At this level, it's not about how many pieces you have. It's about how many pieces you can bring to the party. Here, black has invited the entire army to the g-file. And there it is. Rook h1 checkmate. The final blow. Look at the board. The white king is completely hemmed in by their own pawns, and the rook on h1 delivers the crushing checkmate. The path to this victory was paved by that initial shocking sacrifice on g3. It removed the defenders, opened the files, and forced the king into a position of total helplessness. This game is a perfect example of why you should never fear sacrificing material if the attacking prospects are high enough. We saw the sacrifice, the decoy, the clearance, and finally the mating pattern. This is why tactics matter. If you can spot these patterns, the rook sacrifice on the g-file, the forced opening of the h-file, and the back rank or corner mating net, you are going to climb the ratings faster than you ever thought possible. Study this, memorize the geometry, and start looking for these too good to be true sacrifices in your own games. That was an absolute clinic on how to hunt the king down with surgical precision. If you learned something new today, or if your brain just did a backflip seeing that mate in 3, let me know in the comments below. Did you see the final move coming before we got there? I want to hear your thoughts on these types of tactical puzzles. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Chess64 Elite Academy right now for more elite chess content.